What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Apologies, I do have the fan going in the background. It is pretty warm in the garage. It's currently 85 degrees in here, so doing my best to stay cool while continuing to bring you the content. Today, I'm very excited to bring you a new knife review. I have here the Blade HQ exclusive. I have been kicking around the idea of actually picking this one up because it is a very interesting package. It is the 20CV with G10 scales from Benchmade at a fantastic price, and I took advantage of their Father's Day sale to pick this one up, and I closed it without putting the sticker in there. So as you know, I already have a Bugout, so I'm very familiar with it, but I am unboxing, carrying, and getting my impressions and thoughts together for the knife so that I can actually just show you what comes in the box. As you can see, it comes with their maintenance and care information, comes in a foam padded with a sleeve and a sock, and it is a lifetime sharp and lifetime service and warranty with the purchase of this particular product. Let me go ahead and run down the specs, then we'll do comparison knives, comparable knives, thoughts and impressions. All of it will be in there together. So the Blade HQ exclusive Benchmade Bugout has a 3.2 inch 20 CV blade steel, 4.22 inch G10 handles, overall length of 7.46 inches, and a claimed weight of 2.17 ounces. Let's go ahead and grab the scale and check that weight out. All right, let's see here. Okay, so they're claiming 2.17. It's coming in more like 2.22, it looks like. So pretty still lightweight considering that you now have G10 instead of the Grivory handles on there. Let's go ahead and bring out the comparison knives for size reference, and then we'll jump into thoughts and impressions and comparable knives. First up is going to be the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. As you can see here, these are pretty in line from a size perspective. You have a little bit more length on the Yojimbo 2, but not a whole lot. Next up, we're going to bring out the Spyderco Shaman as I whiff on opening that for whatever reason. And as you can see, the Bugout, a little bit more slender than both of these knives, but very comparable to the Yojimbo 2 and what I would say the Para 3 is going to represent as well. All right, let's go ahead and bring out the crossbar locks because I think it will be interesting to check out the standard model version up against the Blade HQ exclusive, and seeing how they're a little bit different, or if they're different at all, which they're really not. And then the other crossbar lock that I like to bring out for these comparisons is the SIG K320 by Hogue. This is the updated version, aluminum handles with G10 scales. As you can see, it's exactly the same. The difference is going to be the steel and the G10 handles. Of course, I have the titanium scales on mine, so that does make it a little bit different. All right, let's go ahead and bring out the budget knives, and then we'll jump into thoughts and impressions and comparable knives. First up, I'm going to bring out the Buck 110 Plus. This is the sub $30 American-made budget option, and then we have the Kubi KU321 made by Kubi. It's also called the Kubi Royale, or also known as the Kubi Royal. Sorry, shaking a little bit. Very, very close in size to the Bugout, but the Bugout's got a little bit more blade length. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the knife and talk a little bit about some of the differences with this particular knife and my thoughts about it. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is it's a very, very nice steel upgrade. While I'd still like S30V, and I think S30V is a very good steel that a lot of people still probably turn their nose up at. Excellent edge retention, very strong, corrosive resistant, just not quite as tough as a 20CV, but it is. The S30V is going to have the better edge retention. 20CV is a tougher steel, less prone to chipping, and not quite as corrosive resistant. If I remember the chart, I probably need to look that up and post these on here when I talk about them. But it's a nice little steel upgrade, and again, I did pick it up on the Father's Day sale, so it was a little bit less than what I actually paid for the standard S30V variant. I do like the fact that they decided to put their all titanium green hardware on here. I think it looks really good, and I actually do like the gray against the silver background. The G10 is a lot stronger. It is not as prone to flexing as the Gravity. While it does still flex, it's not as prone as the Gravity. But again, I maintain the steels, whether you're getting aluminum or titanium, those scales take the Bugout to a premium level feel. So I am going to bring my Bugout back out here, and it's just, you know, the shape and everything is meant to mimic and mirror everything that you're getting from the standard Bugout, with the exception of the lanyard hole that's a little bit different, and then you have the chamfering down around the studs for the crossbar lock, so you can see you have just a little bit more access to it on the Flytanium. But that feel in hand, and they both have a little bit of contouring. Oh, you're not going to see it on that side. Let's go this way. A little bit of contouring, but it's much more subtle. Sorry, I'm way off to the right here. It's much more subtle on the G10 than it is on the Flytanium. I think the Flytanium has that extra girth, and I think that really does lend to the feel in hand. The other thing that I'm going to notice as well is, while it is smooth in operation, I do feel like the actual operation against the steel, for whatever reason, or maybe it's just that it's broken in, and since I'm doing them side by side, this one feels a little bit more gritty, so it probably just needs to break in. While it is still smooth opening and closing, this one just is so much smoother, and again, could be that it's broken in, but it also feels like it does change the dynamic of how it rides on the phosphor bronze washers. Could be placebo effect. It could be that I'm feeling the steel in hand and everything is just being muted down, so I don't have that reverberation going on into the handles that I'm feeling like I do with the plastic or the G10, but it is noticeable. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why did I grab this? Well, the main reason that I wanted to grab this is because I want the hardware, the steel, and the hardware, both hardware. So the hardware on the handles and the hardware from the standoffs and the thumb studs, because I honestly think when you move that over, I think that pop is gonna look really good, more so than the blue does. So I do want that contrasting color. I think it's gonna look really good with the titanium blue scales, and even if it doesn't, there's other colorways that I can take the finish off of those scales and get them to that, but I really did want the green. I like the way that looks. I don't like it against the gray necessarily, but I do think it'll look good on those titanium. The thing that's a little bit different here too is the texturing on the G10 is finished different, and again, that G10 does make it feel a little bit nicer in hand. So if you're in the market for a Bugout and you've never owned one, this exclusive is actually one that I can get on board with, that I think is really nice. I think they did make a good decision to put the satin hardware against the gray. I think that looks a lot better. It is matted down. It's not like a reflective, so it doesn't look cheap in person. It looks really nice, and again, it does have that consistency. I've had the full-size Bugout with the Flytanium scales that was in the Gravity originally. I had the Gravity in the mini Bugout, and then I had this one as well, which is not broken in, so if you do see that I do miss fire a little bit, it does just need a little bit of break in when you get them. They are smooth, and you can see it just wants to fall shut. I'm letting go of the spring early, and it's not quite dropping fast, but as it breaks in, you'll see that it'll drop faster and it'll get smoother. So it does feel really nice in hand. Alternate options, it's going to be really hard to get them. I can't believe this one's still in stock, but you can, for $100, get 20 CV and G10 from Kershaw. It is going to be a little bit smaller, but it's still really comparable, and you get a really nice grind and finish and stone washing from Kershaw, all for $99 for the exclusive. The things that are not good on here is going to be access to the lock bar is going to be a little bit small. Again, it is thin like the Bugout, and this is a great opportunity to show you the thinness of this knife because I do have the stock scales on here now. So you can see these are very comparable, and then in their closed positions, if I can get this right here, you can see very, very similar pocket profile and presence because you do have that tip up there. So that angle does make it occupy roughly the same space, but you are getting just a little bit more blade length and cutting edge with that Bugout. Or are you? Yeah, just a hair. Barely. So you can tell the Skyline was, you know, in my opinion, they were targeting the Bugout space with this knife. It's just you have the flipper tab, and in my opinion, not a very usable thumb stud. It is just really meant to be a stop pin. They really could have just had the stop pin. I don't know. I guess they had to make that cutout because the stop pin and where it lands. I don't know. I don't know that they could have done much different. Maybe flatten it out here and just had it right here and have that dip a little bit different. But anyway, $99, 20 CV, phosphor bronze washer. You know, I think this was, on sale, 120, 130. I don't know, somewhere in there. 20 CV, phosphor bronze in the scale. Both have G10. So again, very comparable. And both are USA made, which is really nice. Not on sale. I think this was running like 150 or 160. I know that's a really wide range, but I really can't remember. Another option that you can go with is the S35VN Case Genzua. This is a little bit more of a thicker stock, harder use mentality for the blade here, but it is still a very good performer. It does give you aluminum scales, and it does give you the frame lock, and then in the pivot you get ceramic bearings. So very nice, smooth action, and it does feel very well made. I'm really impressed with the case knives. I still need to get, I think it's the Marilla. I still have not gotten to check that out yet. There's just too much happening, and my funds are just way too limited. I can't always grab everything when I want to. I actually tried today to pick up a McNeese, but damn, man, DLT sold out before I could even get it in the cart, and I signed on at the time they went live. So then I tried to wait for 3 o'clock to get Urban EDC supply, and apparently they only had one version of each knife because it said low stock. I clicked add to cart, click check out, and then when I went to my cart information and hit submit, it said nothing in your cart. I was like, what? So I am going to have to continue to wait to get a 3.5-inch McNeese. I really do want one. I think I would vibe very well with it. Is this a recommendable knife? This really is. Even at the regular price, getting 20 CV and an upgrade to G10, I think it really is. I also think the fact that they have the uncoated access lock is going to cause this to break in a lot faster than it will with the coated access lock crossbar, because the coated one has to wear away a little bit to get smooth. I think this is going to break in really fast. So I do like that. On sale, I think it's a fantastic deal because again, you're getting it for around 120, 130. American made crossbar lock, G10, 20 CV, titanium studs and standoffs. A really nice carry profile. This is really thin, carries very minimal in the pocket, and it performs really well. Very comfortable to use. I do like this knife a lot, so it is very recommendable, and I do love this variant. Even if you don't love the green standoffs and studs, you can get any aftermarket color combination that you want if you wanted to swap them out. I think they look really good. I think they're going to look even better on the Flytanium scales here that I'm looking to move them towards. I think that's going to look really good. I love the contrast in colors, but if I do get it on there and I find that I don't like it as much, then I can definitely easily change the colorways on my scales, but I really do like those scales a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you are, thank you for all your support. I appreciate it. Make sure all of you have your notification bells set to all so you get alerts for any future videos that drop. Don't forget to give me a follow over on Instagram. I thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you have a fantastic week, everyone. Until next time, peace.